So of course I was late. So I didn't get an opportunity to come up the mountain with you guys. Like halfway is where I met you guys. So one, I don't like cardio. So the voice I kept hearing in my head was, just don't stop moving your feet.
Yeah.
Once I stopped moving my feet, like that would have been it for me. Like that. Yeah. That's me walking back to the car.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't see. I didn't know where I was going. Trying to see your visibility in the dark with no lights in the wilderness is limited. So I kept hearing, just don't stop moving your feet.
And it's also like I'm already in the process, so why turn back now?
Right.
You feel me? So if I'm like for the children, it's like from them, it's like, why would I go back to suffering the heartache if somebody, God said it's the promised land, just follow me, so why would I go back? So that's also, even with the mountains, it's like, man, I'm already halfway up there, so why, like you said, to keep moving your feet, it don't make no sense to go back now, we already halfway up there, so.
Yeah. One thing about it is also your comfort zone. I think just what we did this morning, just walking with literally a flashlight, had all to do about a comfort zone, because we had all these different reasons to go back to the car, to wait till it's light, wait till it warms up. But it was no rush to get up to the top. That was a common thing, but we had all these other distractions to stop us.
Yeah. So I have a question. Do you guys think the difference between the children of Israel that made it to the promised land and the ones that didn't was the leadership?
I think it was just more determination
and the mindset.
Yeah.
And like you said before, it's all about that mind. It's like, are you going to listen to that? Are you going to listen to that voice of, nah, you might as well stay. It's comfortable here. You might as well. Or are you going to listen to the other voice of saying, go, I got something better for you. So it's all about that mindset, I guess, of the person. Because you have some people, speaking on the mountain, you have some people, mindset is differently. For example, my mindset is keep going. So you have somebody else's mindset is like, I did it this, but I might as well just, okay, I'm comfortable right here. Okay, I already did it. So
some people just settle for bare minimum, like, all right, cool, I did most of it. But it's like, even though you did most, you still didn't do it all.
Yeah, some people comfortable for it enough. You got more people want it enough.
What up, fellas?
Y'all forgive me.
My voice feels crazy right now. I'm hopping right here in the middle of you guys, man. I like what y'all sharing, man.
How'd you feel going up the mountain?
It's my first time. My first time going up the mountain. I was honestly, the hardest part for me was the beginning, because it was dark, really dark.
Just starting out, yeah.
And like we're climbing, and the only thing I knew was that it was supposed to get steeper at some point, but in that moment I couldn't think about the steepness. All I could think about was like, don't fall. Like that was it. Like don't fall. I don't know what's going on around me, the unknown, all that kind of stuff. Like that was crazy to me. Like that for me, that the mental part was greater than the physical part for me.
Yeah.
Like for sure.
Would you do it again?
I would do it again, man. If y'all come with me though. I'm not coming alone. Absolutely.
I mean, even with, you gotta think of it like this, even if it was considered like a gift, like this is something that we wanted to do, their fathers and their forefathers was given the promised land, and they obviously didn't want it bad enough to get there. So I mean, I'm pretty sure that there was a mixed crowd split between the two, saying, even though I want this
is how bad
I don't know
so I
if
guess,
I want it.
So I guess the question is how bad do you want it, I guess.
Yeah, right.
So how bad do you want this new identity, I guess.
I mean, think about it like this. The giraffe probably not gonna like this, but look at the Cowboys and the Falcons.
This is where
Oh man.
How bad do you want it? You down by what? 2 points? How bad do you really want it?
Corey, this is your last episode. But no, I get what you're saying now.
Yeah, no, it takes gut. I mean,
Yeah.
it takes the determination to get what you're after. Because I mean, even a game in life, like there are goals and there the finish line of what we see. And then even after making it to the finish line, the marathon continues, right? So,
I think it all starts with expectations.
yeah.
Because we all paint that perfect picture, like walking up this mountain. It's like, man, that mountain piece of cake. Until you get on it, and it's like, whoa.
Right. Especially when you get to the middle.
This is rocky road. Yeah.
So you got to put in that work.
Yeah.
So okay. So let me ask a question there. So you all, regarding what you just shared, Gerard, like, how would you have felt if you were the leader that has to go stand in the middle of the Jordan River and hold up this, you hold this Ark of the Covenant, and then the people are walking? Like, how would you have felt if you was one of the leaders? Imagine though, it's also like normally during this time of the year, it was like flooding time. So you got to put your foot in something that's, imagine the danger of that.
Yeah.
You have to trust God, man. Wait a minute. People would die out here. Like, you want me to go put my foot somewhere that people would die?
Yeah.
Like, to have to imagine what was going through your head if you had to do the exact same thing today.
I mean, it's a lot of pressure. Don't get me wrong, because it's like people, when you think of leader, you got people who are, let's take LeBron. There's people depending on LeBron, not just family. There's teammates, other people who look up to this man. So one, is a lot of pressure on him, but at the end of the day, this man's still going to do what's best for him. Do what his calling is. If you feel that's what your calling is, you got to put everything to the side: pride, ego, doubts, and you just got to go for it.
That's a rough spot. I mean, given the description, I mean, we're talking about the elements of
Surprise.
right. I mean, you're talking about the flooding and everything like that, and now you're carrying this mantle and you're waiting for everybody else to pass. That's true leadership first. I don't know that.
There's a lot of
that was hard to put
accountability,
myself into.
Yeah, I mean, but like you said, sometimes pressure works with people.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like I said, because I may start out as the leader, but then you know what? Pierre's like, I got this. I got this. This is what we can do. This is how we can make it. So it's like, no matter how you start off, as long as you finish, man, that'll take you so much further, and then you appreciate everything so much more. Because if they didn't have to go through all that, it would just been like, all right, cool, yeah, we exercised just to get here. it wasn't worth it.
Right.
And I think he was built for it, bro. I mean, before that, I guess all the things that he's been through kind of built him up for it. We may not understand what we're going through until we get there. I'm like, okay, I understand now. I'm built to be a leader. I'm built to hold these people on my shoulders to get these people.
Right.
Yeah. So I think it's all about that one person or that person that's built for it, mentally and physically.
One thing about it, you can't do that. I know, like, if you were just doing that by yourself, I know that's where it's like, nah, I'm good.
No, like you said, it's better in groups. I mean, even the leaders, it was group.
Yeah.
You know, so when one said, you know what, guys, I don't know if this is a good idea.
I got
the
you.
other one saying, all right,
I got your back. Let's do this. Like, it push you at ease a
even
little
within
bit.
the leaders, there was a leader.
Yeah.
True. So imagine this. This is the final show of the Shameless the final show of the Shameless series. If you had to give like one just final thought to every person that's watching. We've been 9 weeks. It's been 9 weeks. It's a long series. 9 weeks in. Like what's your takeaway? What's your testimony? What have you given the past 9 weeks?
I guess it's trust that process, man. Just trust it. Like we said earlier, it may be dark. You may just have that one flashlight, but if you trust the process and trust who's leading you, or even you leading the people, the promised land is so much better than the struggle. So, like I said, just trust that process. And may not understand it. We may not, it may be hard, but just trust it, keep praying, and cool.
I think the takeaway, quitting is never an option. I mean, you always have two choices, right? You have the option of walking away and resenting and thinking, what if? Or you have the option of going through the fire, standing in the fire, going through the Jordans, and making it to the other side of the promise and being able to live in that promise. I've always wondered about Moses because he was supposed to be in the promised land, but because of the people that he was leading, at least to my understanding, they made sure he didn't give in. Right, so even with that, I make sure that I surround myself with like-minded people, because those people the people that surround you can keep you out of where you're supposed to be. Right, so never quitting. Quitting is not an option, and definitely the grit. Go through what you have to go through to make it to the end, because there's a reason for it, and it's just not for you. Like a lot of people think that the blessing's for them, and the blessing is never for you. It's for the people that are behind you. It's for the people that are following you, and you have to stay focused on that.
Just trusting and believing in yourself more in this season, because even though this series is over, this is where the real test is.
Right.
Because it always starts out like Pastor Alex gave us our notes. We have everything written down. I'm good. Mm-hmm. But the moment we click off, turn the TV off, the phone off, whatever we're watching on, this is when it starts. And Pastor Alex isn't here every week talking about shameless, and then it's like, oh, what do I do? This is where you believe in yourself and believe in God. Mm-hmm. Most importantly, don't doubt yourself. You were made for this.
That's good. And it's not meant to be easy. It's not meant to be easy. So once you get to the promised land, or once you get to where you at, you can appreciate it more because what you've been through.
Definitely.
That's good, man. While we were filming this a few moments ago, this gentleman walked by. He had to be, I would say, what, 70s?
66.
You say 166? James said 166. He was definitely close. He was close. He was an older gentleman. I would say for like at least what, late 70s, early 80s maybe? Like that walked by, and he has, it was like not a cane, like a stick or some sort. A stick that he walked by, and in my head I'm like, wait a minute. He just went all the way up this mountain, and he's coming back down. And he's not thinking about like who's looking at him or sees a stick or whatever. I wonder how many times has he done this. And I see that, man, I'm encouraged by that, because I'm just like, wow, man, he's not. That's, to me, that's shameless. Right. Like that's the, man. Regardless of my age and physicality, I can still go up and go down. So for me, I'm like, man, what excuses do I have? If he's paved this way, and so for this, I hope this Shameless series has been that for many people, of like, man, a way has been paved. I've even seen multiple texts, see myself in the text, and because of this, regardless of what thing I'm still carrying or that tries to attach stuff to me, I can continue to go forward. And so I hope people may come out of this, man, ready to live that unashamed life and help somebody else. Oh yeah, man.
That's crazy. While you was talking, I heard let go of the crutch. You know how we.
You heard it. Teach Rock.
It's crazy.